Good morning, gang. It's Friday, the 15th of February 2019. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. Yes, it's the day after Valentine's Day. Did you get much in the post? Did you? Not a thing. Not a single thing. Not even like an anonymous, I don't know, daisy posted through the letterbox. Not a thing. There were no Valentine's cards, no flowers, and no chocolates. And if you got loads of chocolates yesterday because you are loved by someone, I hope you get fat. Oh dear, can you just, I wonder if Gemma Collins got many chocolates yesterday. Give me more chocolate. That's why you damaged the ice, love, when you fell over it. Oh, blimey. Anyway, no, nothing for me, nothing for lots of people, but I'll tell you what I did have. I'll tell you what I did have last night. Shall I tell you? And it's our little secret. I'm going to tell you this as a secret, right? I'm going to tell you what happened last night on Valentine's Day in my bed. I am going to tell you. I don't care anymore. I'm going to, in a minute. I don't care anymore. I'm just going to come out with it. I'm just going to say it. And some of you will be pleased. Some of you may be shocked. I'm going to tell you. Not yet. Not yet, though. You may have seen a little poster up there, as mentioned on BBC Radio London on the Joe Good Show yesterday.
The place to be with Tony Blackburn. 206 Radio London.
Yes. Got a mention yesterday on BBC Radio London. Not by Tony Blackburn, that's the only jingle I had. That actually is a jingle from the 1980s. So don't start ringing. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, is that BBC Radio London? Yeah, there's a sad old bloke who does a little YouTube. It's just been playing your jingles. It's been playing out of copyright, all right? Don't waste yourselves. Don't wear out your little buttons. There's always someone looking for something to wrong. Someone looking for someone to report something from. Don't waste your time. Out of copyright. Thank you. Over 30 years old, that jingle. Anyway, so on the Joe Good Show yesterday, it's all very exciting. Adam the Plumber rang in the Joe Good Show, okay, on BBC Radio London, because she was asking people to ring in for to talk about people that I can't think of the word now, inspired them. People that inspired them. And Adam the Plumber rang in and said that I inspired him. And he got the name out, United Kingdom Talk, mentioned my name. Apparently, I make him happy in the morning. I could make someone very happy in the morning. Very, very happy. Sorry, no, I'm getting pervy now. I make him happy in the morning. Isn't that a nice thing? And they must have been talking about me for at least a minute and a half. I didn't have a watch going or timing, anything like that. But yes, so if you are a new viewer, because you've heard my name mentioned on BBC Radio London by a goddess among DJs, boys and girls, a goddess among DJs, Joe Good, who comes across as like really friendly, and you could sit down and have a little bit of a joke with her. Do you know what I mean? She's got one of those voices that sounds like she's had about 200 cigarettes before she started the show. But yes, we were talked about a minute and a half at least yesterday. So thank you very much on behalf of myself and my entire conglomerate of staff who work tirelessly in the room next door to bring you this daily show. And Joe was saying actually that it's a real commitment to sit here and do a talk show for an hour every morning. See, I don't see it like that. Yeah. I get, you'll be surprised at this, I get disappointed with myself if I haven't done a show, because I know, as bad as it is, I know, as bad. My mate said I was very jovial yesterday. I'll have to put a stop to that. We can't have people thinking I'm more happy than I really am. You know what I mean? I feel guilty if I haven't sat down here and done this in the morning now. That is absolutely true. Because I know, like, you expect it. You know, it may not be great. It may not be fantastic. It may not be hard-hitting politics or news or anything like that. All it is a little bit of a laugh in the morning generally, isn't it? That's all this is. But I think people get used to things. Like, how many people still go to church because they've always gone to church? If it wasn't there, would you feel a little bit disappointed, those of you that go? How many people are going because they've always gone? And it's like stuff on the telly and you get used to something. It might not be that good, but then it goes and you miss it. And I feel a little bit like that. And I actually feel guilty if I don't sit here. If I get up, I look at the clock. Oh, Christ, it's 9. Oh, no, I'm going to miss this today. I can't fit this in today. I feel guilty. I actually feel guilty. So thank you very much to Adam the Plumber, who mentioned this on the Radio London show. I really appreciate that, Adam. That's a lovely thing to do. And also, thank you. I know that there are supporters. There is about 3 supporters of the show. And they take the show website address and they post it on their little Facebook walls or on their tweeting things and all that business. And I do appreciate that. It's very kind of you to thank that. Spread the word. Spread a little happiness. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. And if anyone complains about my singing today, I will sing a whole song. Who was it last time? It wasn't Katie. Who was it last time? Someone said, oh, get your earplugs ready when I started singing Happy Birthday. If you do that today, I'm going to sing a whole song today if you do that again. It's outrageous. Nothing wrong with my wonderful... I am the British version of Barry Manilow. I am. It used to be the little No Erection boys. What was his name? Harry Styles? Little Liam Payne, bless his heart. He just needs a cuddle, Liam Payne. Is he the one on the X Factor? I want to get his head and squeeze it. I want the little one on the X Factor. I just want to get his little head and squeeze it into my chest here. Are you ready to know what happened in my bed last night on Valentine's night? Shall I tell you? After I've read some of these messages out. Here we go, boys and girls. Let's start over on YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. Millions of viewers all over the world joining us on YouTube this morning. Good morning to Mr. JP. Morning. Thanks for the flowers. They look lovely in the caravan. I wouldn't have sent you flowers. You're far too old for me, mate. I've told you before, I don't fancy anyone remotely close to my own age. 35, maybe 40 at a push. Anything above that? No, bye-bye. No one wants an old codger as another half, do they? Come on. You speak to all these women going out there, about that, who are in their 60s. They don't want their husbands anymore. Goodbye. They want a toy boy. No flowers have been sent to you, Joe. You grow on me like a wart, he says. How rude. Over on Facebook Live this morning, those of you watching on Periscope, I'm afraid your messages don't get as far as me. They just don't get here, I'm afraid, for some reason, okay? First message of the day on Facebook Live goes to the delightful Dianne Jebb. She's always there, waiting. Good morning, Dianne. Hope you've got a nice cup of tea there. Hello to Katie Ann Patterson. Good morning, Katie. Thank you for the rose, darling. Very nice of you to say so. Good morning to Ray Reynolds. Ray Reynolds, happy Friday, Chris. The weekend starts here. Now, Ray, I'm waking up this morning and thought, here we go, another start to the week. I've got a question for you, Ray. And I'm going around the house and thought, hang on a minute, is it Friday or is it Monday? I thought it was Monday. I've put the telly on, and of course they're doing the business news. Time I got down to the telly, I think they had the London news on, which I've said before. Why BBC and ITV, they both do it. BBC and ITV, they have like their breakfast show in the morning. The more popular one is the BBC one, but that's neither here nor there. And then they have local opt-outs, where wherever you are in the country, you have this your own local news, and it comes back to the main programme. But it's like on for like a minute and a half. And in that, they squeeze a couple of local news stories, the weather and the traffic news. And it's like, why do you even bother? You can't do much in like a minute and a half. I think they should give that at least 10 minutes. So say at 10 to 8 and then 20 past 8. They could do that every half an hour. It would be so much better. Why don't they give those local bits 10 minutes? Mind you, it depends where you are in the country, doesn't it? I suppose. Don't suppose a lot happens in the borders or up there somewhere like that, or even Lincolnshire, come to that. Not a lot happens there. If you're in London, well, 10 minutes wouldn't be enough, would it? Amount of stabbings and robberies and muggings going on round there. The traffic news in London would be just 10 minutes. It just seems completely pointless sometimes. Okay, it's the London news now, which I can select here. I'm in a dual region here, so I can get either the London news or the South news. I choose the London news, and it's like very rushed. Very, very rushed. A bit of a waste of time. But anyway, Ray, I wanted to ask you, do you lose track of the days? Because this morning, and it's happened before, and it's only happened since I started working less. Excuse me, I've got itchy nose. Since I started working less. Yeah, this morning I was convinced it was Monday morning. It wasn't until I turned my phone on and I saw Friday. Oh, it is Friday. But I wasn't sure it was Friday. I was convinced it was the start to another week. Funny, isn't it, really? Is that something that happens either as you don't work as much, or as you get older, or a combination of the both? What's all that about? Do tell us, Ray, because you've been there a little bit longer than me, mate. Good morning. Hello to Alan Russell. Good morning, Alan. He turned up at the karaoke. He didn't sing this week. Didn't sing, did you, Alan? But never mind. Good morning, Alan. Hello to Mark Jeffrey. Bonjour from sunny Cornwall. Bonjour, Mark. Comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci, et vous? Look, I do all the languages. I do Chinese. I do German. Bonjour, I do Polish. I do all the languages, mate. All the languages. All of them. Morning to Tina Fink. Tina Fink, good morning. I'm finally awake again at 4 a.m. to catch your show, Tina. The trouble is, Tina, the show is quite upbeat at this time of the morning, isn't it? And it may wake you up. You may not be able to get back to sleep again. Don't you hate that? Are you still in bed? Do you know what happened in my bed, Tina, last night? On Valentine's night. Shall I tell you now? Shall I tell you? Last night, don't tell anyone this is our little secret. As a priest once said to me. No, sorry. Here we go. So last night, Valentine's night, I climbed into bed. I pulled up my duvet. No one grabbed the duvet off me. No one got into my bed with smelly feet. No one grabbed me and wouldn't let go all night long. And the best one of all, no one farted in my bed last night. Thank you. Very happy. Very happy. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna... And they get a bit fruity, didn't they, some of them? I'm just going to sleep. Oh, don't you want to... No, I'm just going to sleep. Get off! Get off! Get off! No, I haven't got to do any of that. No, thank you. I had a lovely night's sleep. Thank you very much. Who's with a partner and didn't have a good night's sleep last night because of them? Oh, I can't bear it. You know, you're trying to get asleep and that leg comes over you, doesn't it? Oh, no, go away. Awful. Awful. There's an awful lot to be said for sleeping on your own, boys and girls. I'm telling you that now. Hello to Martin Edwards. Good morning, Martin. I'm early for a change. Bit frosty in Northampton. He's all the way up in Northampton. Good morning to you. But I don't know what... It doesn't look frosty out here, to be honest. The sun's shining straight out. It looks beautiful, actually. As far as I can see, we've got unbroken clouds in the sky once again. Interestingly enough, I've never noticed it before. You know, I've got on my roof, I have electric solar panels, what make electricity. They're called PV, okay? Electricity solar panels. And I have a hot water solar panel, which is just one. And yesterday, for the first time ever, I noticed, I mean, only very, very tepid. We're not talking hot. The hot water solar panel is already making slightly warm water. And I've never noticed that at this time of the year. Never. Usually in the summer, it will be so hot that you can't put your hand under. It all depends on the position of the sun in the sky on that solar panel. So at the moment, we're still in winter. The sun's quite low, okay? Now, during the summer, it gets higher and higher and higher, and then it starts hitting this panel, and the water is so hot that you can't put your hand under it. No electricity or gas involved at all. Just pure sunlight. And I've never noticed it in February actually giving me tepid water to take it off cold, which is a good thing, isn't it? Good morning to Adrian Richardson. Oh, he's in hospital in London this morning. From hospital in London. Did have chocolate? You had a chocolate binge? Is that what you're saying there? Hospital in London. Did Eve have a chocolate binge? You had a chocolate binge last night? Is that what you're saying? And now you're in hospital? Oh, well, I hope you get better soon. Is that a diabetes thing that you've got a little bit of trouble with there? Let us know, Adrian. Poor monkey. The poor monkey slept with me all night long. Thank you very much, Katie. And it didn't make any noises or anything like that. Thank you. Mark has taken his hat off to me. Thank you, Mark. You're going to take a hat off for me. Who sung that? Tom Jones, was it? Tom Jones. Someone does that at the karaoke. I can't remember who does that now. Katie's lost her cat. She hasn't got her pussy's ashes yet. Oh, bless. Poor little cat. All right. Ray Reynolds. I know Joe was on BBC Radio Brighton some years ago, but I don't know if it was during the Tommy Boyd period. Tommy Boyd I worked with at Play Radio. Lovely bloke. Really, really nice man he was. He was very encouraging, shall we say. Good morning to John Roger, who says, who's a happy boy today? Well, obviously you. You've got a little smiley face there. Tina Fink says, I do an awesome job. Thank you, Tina. She watches the show and replay every morning. But she's in the States at 4 a.m. there, so she usually watches the replay later on the YouTube or something. Or maybe the Facebook as well, because it's on both, isn't it? Adrian, the nurses are fit in this hospital. That's what you get for going private. I hope they know what they're doing. What are you having done, Adrian? Are you having the chocolate surgically removed from your stomach? Is there so much of it in there? That teach you, isn't it? Do be careful, dear. If you're diabetic, I know a lot of people who are diabetic, and they all take risks. They all take, just have that one bar of chocolate. I know it's really difficult, isn't it? I know how difficult it is to say no to chocolate. Believe me, I know that. Katie, where does the Queen live from you, Chris? Well, she's got a few places, actually, the Queen. The main one, of course, Buckingham Palace, which is in London. That's not near me. However, she's also got a place in Windsor, Windsor Castle. That is relatively near me. I could be there probably in about half an hour from here in the car. Windsor. It's a lovely place, Windsor. If you ever get over here, Katie, visit it. Windsor is lovely. The castle's there, and there's lots of shops, and there's a little sweet shop that makes fudge. Lots of hotels and places to eat and drink tea and things like that. It's lovely there. Good morning to Tommy Flynn. It's old age, apparently, not knowing what day it is. Hello to John Childs. Good morning, John. Long time no see. Hope you're well. When you're turning up at the karaoke, it's about time you come and sing a song. And you, Mr. Timmy Thomas. Good morning from beautiful sunny Camden. Did you get your single supplement last night? No, I told you. No one in my bed. Thank God for that. Good morning to Roy Brownlow. Morning in agony here. Abscess on tooth. Oh, Roy. 11:50. Blimey, should go to the dentist this morning. Should have been driving to Blackpool. Well, I hope they sort that out, Roy. The thing is with abscess, sometimes you might get an instant fix on that. And the instant fix is they drill through the tooth to release the pressure, and it's like instant. The moment they get through the tooth, pain gone. Like you might have to have a drill in there. I don't know. Not nice. Sorry, Roy. Hope you get better soon, mate. Ray says, yes, the days do seem similar once you retire, but it's a good idea before going to bed to think of the next day, as in what am I having for lunch and what shopping do I need? I'm going to Blackpool in March. Oh, for the George Formby Convention up there in Blackpool. Do you know, I've never been to Blackpool. Never been there. Funny, isn't it? Everyone's been to Blackpool except me. Not been there. Oh, Adrian says, I didn't have a chocolate binge whatsoever. I was behaving myself. Well, what did you put at the top there? Look at the message you first sent, Adrian. That's what it looked like to me. Go and have a look at your message you sent me first of all. Mark, Legoland, of course. Yes, the Queen owns Lego. Does she own Legoland? I'm sure she doesn't. She might have a little property there, though. I've been to Legoland. Hideously expensive. My nephew is going there in 1 minute. Let me put my glasses on and have a look here. Look, these are Jeremy Corbyn type glasses. All I need is the dirty old raincoat and not to have a bath for 3 weeks, and I look like him as well, won't I? Let's have a look here. When are they going? April. They're going to Legoland in April, right? For 2 nights. Family of 4, family of 5. For 2 nights, nearly £900. For 2 nights in the Legoland Hotel, 900. It's outrageous, isn't it? Absolutely outrageous how much that is. Talking of holidays, I've been trying to sort out my week's holiday in Cyprus, and I find it very confusing. I've been trying to do it on the internet because when I went into the travel agent, it was like 500-600 quid. I don't want to spend that on a week's holiday. I don't need a 5-star luxury hotel. All I want is 2 or 3 stars, telly, bed, shower, some sort of balcony or something, I suppose. That's all I want. £500-600. So I went on the internet and I'm looking at this thing. I don't know how this works. Got my iPad out, trying to tap it in. I tried booking.com and Exposition? No, X something. Expedia, something like that. And I thought I did it. Anyway, I took my iPad up to my mate's house because his other half, they go on a lot of holidays, so they know about these. So I'm looking at this thing. I said, can you have a look at that? See if I've done that right. And the first thing my mate says, he said, he said, the hotel. I said, yeah, what's wrong with that? He said, look at the colour of the room. Right, yeah, what colour is it then? Well, it's green. Okay. He said, well, don't you want to stay somewhere nicer than that? I said, it's a bloody bed. It doesn't bother me. Oh, he's so far up his own arse sometimes. He really is. It honestly, I don't care. I don't care what the room looks like. As long as there's not cockroaches walking around, as long as I can lock the door on the world, because I like to do that. You see, I like to walk away and lock the door on the world. I could stay at my niece's house, but I'd feel, I wouldn't feel right doing that, you know? I like to have my own place. So anyway, I'm looking up this place. And then the boyfriend, his other half, has taken it off him. He said, what about that one? And I must say, he showed me another hotel, and I thought, oh, that's quite nice. He said, well, that's £50 extra, that hotel. Oh, what, for the whole week? He said, yeah. Okay, right, okay. So he says, right. Oh, the flights, he says. I said, yeah. I said, now, what about these flights? All I can find is bloody Ryanair and EasyJet. He said, well, EasyJet would be the better of the two. I said, well, I don't understand. I'm looking at this thing. He said, you've booked Ryanair. I said, well, I haven't booked anything yet. I've just done it on there because I don't know what to do. I said, what's the Ryanair like? I said, and besides, it says, book flight, Ryanair, and then that hasn't cost you anything more. How is that? He said, because you haven't paid for luggage. I said, what do you mean pay for luggage? And he says, well, all you're allowed on the Ryanair flight is a hand luggage. I said, what, like a hold-all? He said, yeah. I said, well, how big can that be? He said, not very big. I said, so you have to pay to put your case on the plane? And he said, yeah. I said, oh. See, I don't go on the Ryanair. I don't understand all this. Right? And he said, you would be better off going on the EasyJet, but that's another £95. So do they include the weight on the EasyJet? Look at the time. I don't know how. It's just so complicated. This is why I always go into a travel agent. I can't be arsed mucking around on the internet trying to find out these things. And then he says, so you're flying from Gatwick and coming back in at Luton, are you? I said, am I? He said, well, that's what you've put here. Now, how is it that the flight's given on one of these sites, you fly out of one airport and back in at another? I mean, that's just mad. How is it possible to even do that? But apparently that's what I'd done. So we got rid of all that business. And then he looked up a proper airline. I'm really, really not happy going on a Ryanair. I do not want to go on a Ryanair. They have been voted the UK's worst airline. There was a programme on the telly last week about it, which I've still got on recording. I haven't watched it yet. I do not want to go on Ryanair. End of story. Whether it's free or £2 or whatever it is, I don't want to do it. And have you looked up on YouTube, Ryanair? Have you seen how close you are sitting to the person next to you, and in front and behind? You might even be sitting next to Labour supporters on there. How awful would that be? Ghastly people. People that look like Jeremy Corbyn, you know, like that. Never ever smile. I'd be happy. Do you know who I would be happy sitting next to? You'd be surprised. Dianne Abbott. I'd love to sit next to Dianne Abbott. I think she'd be a great laugh. We could just sit there being me and her would sit there just being naughty the entire flight. Me and Dianne Abbott. I think we should have our own show on the telly. So much better than Loose Women. Ghastly programme. Loose Women. Oh, let's talk about our boyfriend. Oh, how anyone can watch that? I don't know. So there we are. That's what I've got with the Cyprus thing. And I think we were coming out by the time we added what was that thing I said? Luggage. It came out to almost the quote that I got at Thompson Holidays the other day. So I thought, well, I'm wasting my time, because usually I go into Thomas Cook. Hello, I want to go here on this date, and I don't want to pay vast sums of money. I only need a 2 or 3 star hotel. What can you do for me? I would like a business class flight. How much would that be? I think I'll probably do that again. What is it today? Friday? I still think it's Monday. Today is Friday, isn't it? Friday today. I'm thinking now I've got to rush around today. I don't have to rush around too much on a Friday. Not while I'm here. If I'm in Lincolnshire, I do, but not while I'm here. It's Monday that I have a very short time span of fitting everything in together. So I think possibly I'll go into, because I go to town on Saturdays anyway, I might go to town tomorrow and pop into Thomas Cook and ask them to sort all that out. But I don't think I'm going to see any change from 500 or 600 quid. You know, I thought I'd be able to do a holiday. Cyprus, I just assumed it would be like Spain. You know, people go to Spain for cheap holiday, couple of £100. No, it's at least double or 3 times that. I don't suppose I'll get a business class flight for that either, will I? You know, some of these business class flights, you'd be surprised, they're only like 40 or 50 quid dearer than an economy one. Certainly when we went to Italy once, me and my mate went to Rome a few years ago now. That's funny enough. That's when I started doing the daily chat shows. When I was in Rome, we recorded a little video while we were sitting having tea in this hotel. Lovely old hotel. It was a converted convent, actually. This hotel. It was wonderful. We used to sit in the hallway, of course, you know. Not cold in Italy at all. This would be in September. Can't remember the year of it. And I started doing daily shows. Little daily, like recordings, and uploaded them, and that's where the daily thing really started. It is some years ago now, actually. And when we went there, I think the difference between the business class flight and an economy was something like 50 or 60 quid, and that was on British Airways. Not the case going to Cyprus. A lot more expensive going to Cyprus. And even Ronnie's other half, he said Cyprus does seem to be an expensive place to go. You wouldn't have thought that, would you? Yeah, it's not like Thailand or Australia or India or somewhere like that. Cyprus, I kind of clumped that together with your Spains, your Italys, places like that. No, not at all. I was surprised, though, how much dearer it was. So I'll probably pop into Thomas Cook tomorrow and see how it goes down there. Right, back to some of your messages now, boys and girls. Let's have a look there. Good morning to Lewis Bannerman, who's in Lanzarote today. Good morning, Lewis. Lewis I worked with at Central Station. He was working beyond the bar there for a while. Good laugh. He used to give the customers so much attitude. So much attitude. It was unbelievable. Good morning, Lewis. Hope you're happy over there, my friend. Mark says, how many jackets do you own? Oh, I don't know, about 10, I suppose. 10? Somewhere between 10 and 15. Some expensive ones, some dirt cheap ones. The really colourful ones are the cheap ones. And they come from a company called Rosegal, Rosegal. Now, you may remember they can take a few weeks to come, incidentally. And I was checking back, and there was still one that hasn't arrived from last November. So I wrote to them, and it's out of stock. They're not making them anymore. And the one I'd ordered that I've been telling you about for weeks now, that I've got one more jacket coming, is not going to come now because they haven't got any left. It was a world map. It was like a world map and all stitched together with countries all up and down it. Unfortunately, it's not going to come. But there you go. So all the jackets, most of the this is a, where's this one from? I think this is this one I think was about, let's see. Yeah, this one was about £79, this one. Okay. Some of them are dearer. Some of them are much, much cheaper. When I say much cheaper, I'm talking 20 quid. The 20 quid ones come from Rosegal, Rosegal, Chinese company. Generally, they come quite quickly unless you order sort of around the Christmas time, in which case they come a lot longer than that, all right? You can also get the really colourful ones on Amazon, but you'll pay a little bit more on there. All right, Mark? Morning to Michael Lawrence. Good morning, Michael. Hope you had a nice weekend. Adam is late. We were talking about you earlier, Adam, and your kind phone call to BBC Radio London yesterday. Thank you, Adam. Timmy, John Child used to live opposite the Cat Building in Mornington Crescent. Is that right? Oh, well, he comes along to the karaoke now and again. He still comes to Central Station once in a blue moon, actually. Once every few months he comes. But he was a regular customer at the Golden Lion in Camden when I used to do the karaoke down there. And it was quite nice in there. I must say, I did have a good time in there. But it was better when Jess, Jess, she was the bar lady there. She used to have everything ready. And once she left, it just became a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. You were moving, I was having to get there. Nothing was ready. Tables weren't in the place. And it's just, so I gave up in the end. Morning to Kevin Webster. Morning, Kevin. Brian James. Hello, Brian. All right, Brian. Hope you're well. Katie, my daughter, is going over to America. She's going for the same thing. Yeah, I mean, I should think she would do as well. And Chuck. Good morning, Chuck. When are you going to Washington, D.C.? I have no plans to go there, really. Not because I don't want to go there, just no plans to go there. I like going to America for holidays. I love it. And in particular, I like going to your American designer outlet places. I love them. I blooming love them. I could spend a couple of days walking around the shops and getting what are, for us British people, dirt cheap clothes at American designer outlets. I absolutely love them. Michael, I hate both airlines, Ryanair and EasyJet. I have long legs and not enough leg room. And come, sorry, Michael, come Christlison. What does that mean? Try that again, Michael. You've misspelt there. I don't understand what you're saying. It stays at the Intercontinental Hotel. That sounds posh, Michael. Intercontinental Hotel? Wow, that's nice. Well, if you've got long legs, don't worry. I'll let you put them up on my lap while we're on the plane together. All right? Mark wants me to go to Cornwall. I'll put you up in a tent in the garden. Nothing wrong with tents. I used to go camping a lot as a scout. Cubs, do your best. I'm not sure I'd be happy in a tent anymore, though. Sleeping on that hard, muddy floor. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you have a ground sheet, but it's still hard. A lot of the boys in the scouts, we used to take around this foam, like a foam thing that you'd put underneath you. Soft. It didn't really make much difference, to be honest. Timmy, I flew 20 people to Scotland for my birthday one year. They thought I'd spent a fortune. I paid £1 each on EasyJet. Never paid for anything all weekend. Didn't have the heart to tell them. Don't tell them, dear. Don't tell them, Timmy. That's not bad, is it? It is cheap if you want to go on those cheap airlines. But if you pay cheap, expect cheap. That's all I can say. You've got to pay for everything you take on that plane, haven't you? Eh? Adam went to Cyprus, used the beach. When I went to Cyprus, I used On the Beach to book. On the Beach, is that what it's called? Okay. On the Beach. I'll have a look at that as well. Thank you, Adam. I'll have a look at that. Flight and accommodation all included, and it was very, very cheap. Okay. But was that Ryanair? I can't be going on Ryanair. Michael, have I read that already? Here we go. Here we are. I hate both Ryanair and EasyJet. I've got long legs and not enough room. And Chris, Go to Lisbon in Portugal and stay at the Intercontinental Hotel. Is it posh there? I bet it's posh. I bet it's posh. You go anywhere, Brian, on holiday at all? Have you been away to any other countries, Brian? Lisbon in Portugal. Thank you very much. Let's just check your YouTube there. Oh, there we go. Oh, I missed you all out there, haven't I? Just a moment. Where are we now? Tony Power. We had the warmest Valentine's Day in 21 years yesterday, which might explain that heat issue you mentioned. Nothing wrong with a bit of heat, dear. Good morning to Claire L. Morning, Claire. Tony, it wouldn't take Dianne long to figure you out, Chris. Do you not think so? Oh, no, awful. I cleaned my fridge yesterday. Can you believe that? I haven't cleaned the fridge for years. And it's awful. Oh, it's awful. This is a proper bloke's house, this is. Things don't get cleaned until they need it. And I was in the fridge yesterday, and it was looking a bit empty before I went to Aldi. I need to get some yogurts and things yesterday, so I popped down to Aldi. I got back, and I opened the fridge. I thought, look a bit dirty in here. So I started cleaning it. And I got and do you know how long it takes? 2 minutes to clean a fridge. I took out the shelves and I put those in the dishwasher and the big sort of plasticky, glassy drawer at the bottom. You know, the one that you put the vegetables and things like that. Not vegetables, but salad stuff, maybe tomatoes, that sort of thing in that bottom drawer there. I put that all in the dishwasher, turned it on. I cleaned out the fridge. Took me about 3 minutes. That's it. There was a dead insect in there. Isn't that awful? There was a dead insect in the fridge, a thing with green wings. It must have frozen to death. No, and we've got to be careful of the insects. That was that green insect. It was the sort of thing that you used to see crushed on your windscreen back in the 1970s. I blame the fast drivers. You know, if people weren't driving so fast, they could avoid the insects. Please stop driving into insects. Very, very bad. Tim says the people I took to Scotland were cheap. I'm sure they were. Aren't you awful, dear? So that's what I did yesterday. I cleaned my fridge. Not a lot going on there, was there? Stuff I watched on the telly. Oh, there's a programme coming up on Channel 4. I'll tell you that in a minute. I was hoping to watch John Baptiste last night, but it wasn't on. I think is it John Baptiste? Baptiste, the French detective. But it's not on yet. I must have got the days wrong. I don't know if it's on today or not, but I'll have a look for that. Baptiste on BBC One Colour, coming up soon on the television. Last night I watched a couple of my recordings. The Marigold Hotel, that's back on. Not the film. This is the one where BBC One Colour takes a load of pensioners to another country to see what it would be like if they retired there. And you've got Miriam's on there. She likes farting a lot. She's fab. Miriam, she was in the Harry Potter films. You know the little lady. Oh, she's great. She's absolutely great. And they had what's his name? Johnson, not Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson's dad. I can't remember his name now. Boris Johnson's dad. We'll just call him Boris Johnson's dad. They had the darts player on there, and they had the delightful Sheila Ferguson from The 3 Degrees. Oh, yeah. My simple heart, la, la, la. My simple heart, yeah, 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 yeah. It was great. I love that programme. It's so warm and nice. Although I did think Miriam overstepped the mark a couple of times with the Russians. She was a bit rude. She's sitting there in Russia talking to a Russian lady, and one of the first things she says was, "Do you like Putin? I don't like Putin." I wouldn't be going to Russia and saying that. She'd probably have her head cut off or lined up against the wall and shot. Madness. I think she was a bit rude, to be honest. I wouldn't be doing that in another country, even if I thought that. Just wouldn't say it, you know. Good morning to Maureen. Just texting in this morning. Good morning, Maureen. She's feeling a bit better. She's had a bit of a cold, poor Maureen. But she's not well enough tonight to go to the karaoke. Okay, Maureen, you stay there and you get better, my darling. You can watch it on our live stream a little bit later on. All right. So Marigold Hotel I watched last night. Also, I saw Death in Paradise was on last night. Now I think it was the last one, but I had completely forgotten that series was on. So rather than watch that one, I went onto the BBC One Colour iPlayer and I found Death in Paradise, and they're all on there, but they're only on there for about a month. Okay, so I found the first one and I watched that last night. Oh, I love it. Death in Paradise. Anyone watch that? It's a detective series about the lead detective and the police force on this little island in the Caribbean. Is it Honor? Honor Island? Honor. I think it's Honor. Or that might be the name of the town. But it's, I suppose it's fictitious. I don't know. And the scenery is fantastic, and someone usually dies, and they have to work out who done it and all that business. Like a Cluedo. Just like Cluedo. Fantastic programme. Fantastic programme. And my favourite character on there is the Commissioner. He is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Played by that wonderful actor, Dom Warrington. And there was a bit in it, and he plays like the big... Like he's like in charge, so he plays the big I am, because he is the I am. Okay? And he comes along, very good morning to you, Inspector. How are we getting on with that today then? And he's so sarcastic. It's hilarious. His character is brilliant, and it's played brilliantly. And there was one bit where one of the young detectives, he's looking for a knife in the bushes, and he turns around and the commissioner's, hello, what are you doing here today? Oh, good morning, Mr. Commissioner, sir. He said, I'm just looking for the live knife in the bushes, but I can't quite get to it. And the commissioner says, well, that's okay. He said, you hold the branches back and I'll go in the bushes and get it. Oh, are you sure, sir? Yes, that's fine. Anyway, he holds back these bushes. The commissioner is dressed in all that, the nice uniform and all that. Beautiful. And he's got to be in his 70s, late 60s, 70s, Dom Warrington, I would guess now. And he goes into the bushes, and at this point, someone else calls the boy while he's holding the bushes back, and he lets go. And the commissioner goes arse over tit into the bushes and comes back out all dirty. Oh, hilarious. I love that character, and what a great actor. This is someone I'd like to meet, Dom Warrington. He's done a lot of other stuff on the telly, so keep an eye out for that. Death in Paradise. You need to watch it quickly because it's not going to be on there much longer. Get it on the BBC iPlayer. Go start at number 1 and start watching sort of one a day if you can. It's worth watching. It's interesting. The scenery is good, but more importantly, it has a lot of humour in it. A lot of humour in that programme. Although the other guy's not in it at the moment. Can't remember. Again, he's been in lots of stuff. Possibly a black guy, very black, as in, I think he's been in EastEnders. I can't remember his name now, but he's quite good as well. I've got my 3 favourite characters. Top of the tree, absolutely, is the Commissioner, because he's just so funny. Then I quite like the young black lad. He's quite nice looking. And then the older black man, who is... he seems to be away on holiday or something like that at the moment. Then you've got the detective of his from London or something. He's white. And then there's a girl in there who's French. They're the main characters in there. So you got how many main characters? 1, 2, 3. I think there's 5 main characters. It's really, really good. Death in Paradise on BBC iPlayer. All right. Adam says, he's just done a quick check online. For example, 7 nights flying on February the 20th. £410. You see, that's the sort of... yeah. We're still close to that 500, aren't we? I expected to be doing this for about 250, 300 quid. But not the case, it would seem. Not the case at all, unfortunately. There we are. All right. Good. Right, some news stories for you this morning. What's the time now? Have we been chatting already 45 minutes? Where's it go? News stories this morning. Talking of television, boys and girls, if you like Holby City or Casualty, both of which I never miss, great programmes on BBC One Colour. Here's a story in the Daily Mirror this morning, which says the shows will merge for the first time in 14 years. Wow. So here we are again in the Daily Mirror. Holby City and Casualty will merge for a television special for the first time in 14 years. The hospital dramas will join forces for a two-part show on BBC One Colour as the staff of the emergency department and the wards are hit by a cyber attack. Cyber attack! Warning! The crossover starts during Casualty on March the 2nd and will conclude during Holby City on March the 5th, its 20th anniversary. Both shows are set in fictional Holby City Hospital. The producer, Simon Harper, says you'll see both the Casualty and Holby teams striving heroically against the odds in 2 episodes of pure taut emotional medical drama. I love it. I love Holby. There's so much to relish, and especially poignant thematic resonance between 2 regulars, Connie Beecham and Jack Naylor, in delicious concrete. 2 characters that I love. I love Jack Naylor and Connie Beecham. I love them both, and perhaps most vitally, who from Casualty has been secretly carrying on with whom from Colby. It's all going on, dear. Sexual goings on Casualty and Holby City. Disgusting. I look forward to that. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Good morning to Peter in Woodhall Spa. Just texted in this morning. Hope you're well on this Friday morning there. Now, talking of robots, boys and girls, cyber attacks. Good morning to SOS Gregorian. Good morning to you, SOS Gregorian. Talking of cyber attacks, in the Daily Mail this morning, killer robots are a great threat to humanity. Oh, yes. It says here, and should be banned. The world's largest gathering of scientists were told. As yet, robot soldiers and security guards armed with lethal weapons are largely science fiction concepts. Not for very long, I don't think, though. This is just round the corner. But advances in artificial intelligence mean it's only a matter of time before robots with the power to select and attack targets without human input becomes widespread. Scientists and human rights campaigners have told the American Association for the Advancement of Science annual meetings in Washington, D.C., lethal droids able to select targets without human help represent the third revolution in warfare after gunpowder and nuclear weapons. Just as international agreements greatly restricted the use of landmines, similar international agreements should be used to prevent robotic killers becoming established. Bold political leadership is needed for a new treaty to stop this happening. So it's all very frightening, and there's a lot more to that story, actually. But when you see these films, you know, of robots fighting, and you remember, of course, probably the most famous one was the Terminator. The Terminator, this robot that would go out and decide whether you've committed a crime or something and just destroy you. This is just around the corner, my friends. Armies of robots would be fighting each other, wouldn't they? Terrible, really. Will it happen in my lifetime? Probably, I would imagine so. How about in 100 years' time? Absolutely, definitely. You'd be speeding along in your car and this little drone comes up. I don't know, somehow stops your car and drags you out of the car and beats you up at the side of the road. That would be a better way of solving it, I think. No more points on the license or anything like that. You just drag... A robot will drag you out of the car and just beat you up. That's a better way of dealing with it, wouldn't you think so? All right. Let's see. What else have we got here? That's it. There's the other programme on that I've got for you to watch this morning. Slim People. How is it that some people, and we all know them, some people can go out and eat anything they want. Nothing happens. Not an ounce of weight goes on. How is that possible? Well, there's a new programme on Channel 4 and it's on tonight. It says in the Daily Mail this morning, Gabby Shea and her husband were treated to a slap-up meal as part of the filming for a new programme about dietary habits. The 35-year-old designer landscape the landscape garden designer from South London was given carte blanche with the menu. Order what you like, she was told, and enjoy. So she did. They went for burgers, great big dirty burgers with everything on, she laughs. Sweets, buns, fries, onion rings, fizzy drinks, everything. All the baddies of the food that you like. She doused everything in various sauces, piled on the pickles and had a plate swimming in vinegar. I love it. I could drink it from the bottle. She ate every bite. Did she feel any guilt without having such enthusiasm? Did she feel any guilt about having such enthusiasm? No, she didn't. At the end of the meal, something surprising happened. She called the waiter over and ordered another burger. What can I say, she says. I was still hungry. And it wasn't a one-off. It's a normal thing. She says, I don't know where it comes from, but my capacity to put food away is quite something. I've always been like this when I was a teenager. I'd get fish and chips on the way home and then eat the dinner my mum had made. I used to drive her mad. I do it now too. I'll go to McDonald's and have a burger on the way home, and when Roy will have made us a nice lamb stir fry with oodles of vegetables. He moans about it. But he says, if we spoil your appetite, I say, when have you ever known me not to finish what's on my plate? I just love food. Now, I'm the same as that. I always finish what's on my plate. But so it goes on. Is Gabby one of those caught up in Britain's obesity epidemic? Far from it. Far from it. The Channel 4 show is called The Secret Lives of Slim People, and Gabby has been picked, not because she's big, but because she's tiny. In the flesh, there isn't a spare pound on her. She wears size 6 to 8 clothes. Technically, at 5 foot 7 inches and weighing just over 8 stone, she is underweight. I'm just in the underweight zone, she confirms. But I've been this size since I was 18. I never put weight on. I just can't. Why? Is the question at the heart of this quite astonishing series. Why can some of us, people seemingly eat what they like without putting on a pound, while the rest of us only have to look at a Kit Kat and start ballooning? That's me. Why is life so unfair to the rest of us? So this is a programme that is, according to the Daily Mail, it's going to start tonight, and I shall be setting my clock for this at 8:30 tonight. I bet no. It's Monday. See, I'm getting still confused with these blooming days. It's Monday. It starts on Monday at 8:30. Okay, so I must write that down. Monday, 8:30, Channel 4 record. The Secret Lives of Slim People. Perhaps we can get a few ideas on that. Some of us who are really fat and some of us who are just a little bit out of weight, you know? So I don't know really. Oh, Adam's just sent me something there. What's that there? Oh, he sent me the booking form. Thank you, Adam. 292. Oh, now that sounds a bit better. 292. 292. I will have a look at that, Adam. Thank you very much for that. I will definitely have a look at that on the beach thing and see where I can come on that one. And it flies with TUI, known as Thomas Cook. No, that's wrong. Thompson Holidays. TUI are Thompson Holidays. Thomas Cook is still Thomas Cook. TUI are Thompson Holidays. I know that. But thank you very much for that, Adam. And I'll have a little look at that. Alrighty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. It's birthday time here on United Kingdom Talk. And a happy birthday on this Friday, the 15th of February 2019 to Mark Weller, who I went to school with. Used to sit next to him a lot of the time, certainly in geography class. I remember downstairs sitting next to him in geography class. And David Reddington as well. What happened to him? David Reddington, and we used to create havoc at geography. Did I tell you I got unclassified for geography? I was so crap at school. It's downstairs, the geography room, and it was opposite the PE, wasn't it? The geography room downstairs, I remember. Happy birthday to you, Mark. All right, happy birthday, Mark. Happy birthday to Kurt Sinclair Hall. Good morning, sir. Happy birthday to you. Maria Jardine. It's her birthday today. Lovely picture there, Maria. Happy birthday to you. And Sergio Gustavo Butaka is 40 years old today. So happy birthday, boys and girls. Here comes the song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Right, look, Joanna, there you are. Joanna's just said earplugs. Right, that's it, Joanna. I'm going to sing a whole song now. That's your own fault. I'm going to sing a whole song now as punishment to you. I did tell you, if you moaned about my singing this morning, I would sing a whole song, so I'm going to. Let me just find a backing track somewhere. Are you ready? I might have to put my headphones on for this because I can't quite hear myself. That's very important. Perhaps I don't want to hear myself. If I just put them on to start with. There we are. Can I hear myself there? That's better. I just about hear myself there. Right, just a minute now. Here we go. What do you want? Tie yellow ribbon. Tie yellow ribbon it's going to be. Hang on. Ba, ba, ba. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Especially for Joanna, because she's been moaning this morning. Ready? Yeah, here we go, baby. Ba, 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 da. Sounds a bit funny to me. Does it sound all right to you? Here we go. Oh, yeah, baby. I'm coming home, I've done my time. Now I've got to know what is or isn't mine. If you receive my letter telling you I'd soon be free, then you'll know just what to do if you still want me. If you still want me. Do you want me? Oh, yeah. I'll tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, and put the blame on me. If I don't see a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. No ribbon, dear. That's the trouble. No ribbon. Bus driver, please. But I couldn't bear to see what I might see. I tried to be clever then, you see. I'm really still in prison, and my love, she holds the key. A simple yellow ribbon's what I need to set me free. I wrote and told her, please, oh, tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. Ready for this? Here it is. It is. Now the whole damn bus is cheering, and I can't believe I see 100 yellow ribbons round the old oak tree. I'm coming home, I'm coming home, I'm coming home with you. There we are, tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree, especially for Joanna, who moaned this morning about my... what's this from Claire? Neil... Ooh. Did I burp then? How rude. 0 points from Claire. How rude. That would get more points than that dreary old song that the little spotty kids are going to be singing for us this year at the Eurovision. Dreadful, dear. Dreadful song selected for the Eurovision. Never mind. Alan Russell is on a bus at the moment with the sound up high and the people are swaying left to right. Good morning, those of you who are on the bus going about your sad, lonely, pathetic lives. Possibly on your way to work, although you're a bit late at 10 o'clock in the morning. Kids are on strike today, aren't they? The kids are on strike from school. I ask you, what the hell's all that about? Who's allowing children to take a day off school to go on some sort of march or something like that? Because they're protesting about climate change. They're protesting about climate change. All right then, kids. Okay. You turn all your gas and electric off and sit in your houses freezing cold and see how much you like that, shall we? Anyway, that's it for the show today. Thanks, gang. Tonight, I'll be hosting karaoke. There it is. At Central Station Bar, Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Friday karaoke night. Come and join us down at Central Station. It starts at 8:30 and goes right the way through until midnight. Fridays is very, very busy there, boys and girls, now. We are very busy on a Friday, and we get a lot of people in there who I've never seen before, and that's lovely. It's really, really nice. Come along Friday night, tonight, Central Station karaoke, starting at 8:30. Have a lovely day today, gang. It's a beautiful day out there. Shortly after this, I'm going to walk up to the swimming pool and have my Friday morning swim in the sunshine. It's looking so nice. I can't wait to get outside, actually. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.